Good morning, everyone. We're going to be getting started by doing a really quick everyday makeup routine. This is the base of most of my makeup looks, and then I take it to the next level from there. First, I did take a shower, and I'm putting K18 to just save my hair from some highlights I just did. Next, I am going to start with skincare, which is so important. It's going to really set the tone of how your makeup is going to eventually look. So the three products that I use is the Laneige Hyaluronic Serum, La Roche Moisturizer, and Vichy Thermal Water. So here you can see I'm just taking that Laneige Hyaluronic Serum and putting that all over my face to start. I love this. I've been using it for about 2 or 3 months, and I've really seen some just general improvements in my skin. The La Roche Moisturizer is great because I do have sensitive skin, so I think it's just a good solid moisturizer, and it doesn't break me out, and it's very gentle. Next, we're taking this Vichy Thermal Water. I'm not a fan of spraying chemicals on top of everything we're already using, so the Vichy Thermal Water is just super lightweight and natural. Now we're going into the eyes, which is my favorite part. I'm going to be using those shadows that I just pointed out to create this look. So you want to grab Peaches from this Kylie Cosmetics eyeshadow palette and sweep that all over a little bit above the crease so that that transition shade does pop when your eyes are open. This palette is available at Ulta. I just got it a couple weeks ago and I've been testing it out, and I really love it. So now I'm taking this vanilla shade and I'm going to put that as a base on my eyelid and on the brow bone. And I'm using the same brush, I'm not changing it. Now to do the eyelid, I love a pressed pigment, the kind of glittery shade. So I'm going to be using the darker and the lighter one. And the way I get it to be the most pigmented is by taking that Vichy water and spraying a flat brush from MAC and really just packing that shadow on. I just really like it when it pops. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting it all over the eyelid. This is a bit of a golden copper shade, I would say. So I feel like this palette is so appropriate for fall because it has all these warm tones. It's hitting the fall vibes for me. Next, I'm going to take this very light gold shadow and I'm going to put that in the inner corner of my eye just to give some lightness. And I'll take a little bit of that and tap it on the outer part of the lid. Now to define the eyes, we'll take some of the eyeshadows. I'm going to go with the darker one here. And taking this Bobbi Brown flat liner brush, I'm just going to trace under the eyes. I just find that when I skip this step, my eyes don't stand out as much. So I just like to create some definition to the eye. And the other thing you want to do is slightly swoop that up. To start, we want to kind of create a non-existent cat eye. So that's what that means is we're not going to be doing a big eyeliner, but we do want all our shadows to kind of go in an upward direction to lift the face, which normally I would do with a liquid liner, but it's 9 a.m. and we don't have time for that. So now you want to also bring some definition back into the outer parts of your eye. So I'm taking 2 matte shades and just kind of building up the outer corners. And that was a Real Technique brush. Now we're going to be going into mascara. I love these two. That's the Lancome Doll and Patrick Star Fantasize. But before jumping into that, let's add a little bit of NYX white liner. This is good for the daytime because it's not gonna during the day it's not gonna smear. If you use a dark shade, it could kind of travel. And this specific white liner is super pigmented and gentle on the eye, and it's also retractable, so you don't have to sharpen it. So all of that's a plus, and it's $4. So we are going to take the Lancome Doll mascara. And we're going to start on the outer half of the eye, work that in. I do like a press, like I press down onto the mascara with my eyes, and then I wiggle at the base and pull the wand. So it's kind of like a, I don't know, a wiggle and tug kind of action. And I always kind of try to go in a cat eye shape, so I'm always trying to extend the things that I put on my eyes kind of in an upward motion, kind of going out to the side, if that makes any sense. You also want to add mascara to the bottom lashes. I don't re-dip into the brush, into the tube, because I don't want too much product down there. And then I'm just going to complete the other side, doing the same thing. So yeah, that completes the eye look. Super simple. So I do like to do a brow, and for today I'm going to be using Anastasia products. I use the spoolie from the Brow Wiz, and then I've been loving the brow pen lately. I used to only use a brow pencil, the soft brown, but I did pick this up and I figured out how to make it work for me. So what I like to do is start on the bottom half of the brow, because this is where the most pigment is going to deposit and it's easier to blend that out. And as you can see, as I use it, the product gets lighter. So I try to make sure that the pigmentation is equal on both sides. I do the same step on each side of the eye at the same time. So at this point, most of the product is gone. So I'm just getting a faint color and I'm blending that into the hairs. And then at the very end, I'm going to blend that into the front of the brow, because there's barely any product left. So this is going to create a very subtle ombre effect, a more natural effect. You don't want any harsh lines in the front of your brow. Now to blend it together and soften the pen, but while not, I also don't want it to lift the product. I'm using the soft brown Anastasia brow gel. I notice if I use a spoolie, it takes the product away. So eyes are done. I love to just respray myself with some Vichy water, and we're going to move on to the foundation. So I use a Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter in 4.5 for a glow on the sides of my cheeks. And then I take the Beauty Blender Tint Foundation in shade 5. It's a dropper application, and I'm going to put little dots all over the face. I love this foundation. It's very lightweight. It dries down matte. You don't feel anything on your face. It blends out perfectly with a beauty blender, so that's a plus. And if you want full coverage, you really can. So I never really like to do heavy foundations. However, if I had a problem area, I totally could just relayer with this. So that's really nice. Now that the foundation is on, I like to treat problem areas with concealer. So this is the Honest Beauty concealer in 2 shades. It's like a beige color and an ivory color. I take the beige color, which is the darker tone for me, and I put that on any breakouts I might have. And then the ivory color is a bit more of a peachy brightening shade, so that I only use under the eye. So yeah, we're just putting that with the Beauty Blender under the eye. I also find that Beauty Blender is super key to a makeup look. I've tried doing my concealer without it, and it just doesn't look good. I just don't get results with my fingers. So that's a must if you're having any issues with your concealer blending. Now we want to contour and bronze at the same time, so we're gonna bronzer. I use Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Bronzer. It's so far the best cream bronzer I've ever used. And the Patrick Ta Cream Bronzer Applicator. This applicator is so good because it really does the work for you. I barely have to do anything. Yep, so we're going to do under the cheeks, over the forehead, under the jaw. It's the basics. Now we want to make sure that we always set all this cream in. Even though I do have dry skin, it's super key for me to do this because it helps, one, with transfer, and two, I do live in Florida, so as soon as I go outside, we are sweating. So even if you feel slightly powdery indoors, as soon as you go outside here in Florida, you really do need a powder. Otherwise, you're just going to be super greasy looking. And I revive all my powders at the end with the Vichy water, so everything will come back to life. So this, and plus this sheer powder is so lightweight, which is why I love it. It's not too heavy. I did forget to cream blush prior to the powder, but it's okay. I mean, I've tested this cream blush before, and even the Anastasia cream bronzer, and over top of the Honest Beauty translucent powder, I actually can reapply it after if I needed to. So I'm just going to make sure to set it though. So I'm taking the Iconic London Duo Blush and Highlight, and I'm taking the blush shade and applying that with a beauty blender, and the highlight shade to the bridge of my nose, cheekbones, Cupid's bow, all those areas. So like I said, you want to kind of protect your eyes with a palette. We don't want to over wet them. So we're going to spray that powder and maybe just touch up a little bit more bronzer on the cheek. Alright, so we're going to close out this makeup look with lips. We're going to do Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. It's a nice nude pink color. And we're going to go over it with the Dior lip balm in a peachy pink shade. So this is going to be the perfect lip combo for the day, easy to reapply. You're not going to look crazy with smudges of bright color lipsticks. So there you have it. This completes the look. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks, guys.